it's Jeffrey with Real Nifty Vintage, and I'm back with another haul video. I just got back from a cruise where I was also spending a couple days in Tampa, Florida. So I went thrifting down there, and I did manage to find a few things, but I want to first and foremost say I'm not a fan of the thrifting opportunities, at least in Tampa. I went to Goodwill's and what they call flea markets. I'm not sure if it's true everywhere in Florida, but it seems every flea market I went to sold mostly things made in China, like backpacks, t-shirts, souvenir shot glasses. It was not antique, vintage, yard sale things at all. And then as far as Goodwill, that's a whole nother story. Their Goodwills are very, very nice. They're big, elaborate structures. They're very new. They look great, the Goodwills. And I think even some of them, or most say like retail outlet or something. I went to about 4 Goodwills trying to find some things, and then I went to a couple off the road thrift stores, and most of those were like charity thrift stores, and they weren't very good either. I'm not going to get into it. So I was able to find some things. I'm going to show you what I got, and then I have a couple books that came in while I was gone that I ordered, and I'll show you those. Okay, so I did get a couple things that I don't think I would normally get. They're a little bit outside my realm, but I wanted to stretch out and see what I could do. Let's start with that item. First, we have here this paper mache, and I hate that the light is doing this, but we have a paper mache piece right here. It's a clown, and this is metal here, the balloons that are attached. You can see here there's these neat little, well, symbols, I should say, on there. I think they're so cool, and that's one of the reasons why I bought it, which is kind of weird, but I thought they were really retro looking, really fun. I love the balloons. Then we have, of course, the clown, and he has those same similar symbols on his cheeks there. Little damage like right there on his nose. And there's a couple other spots around here. Now this item here is really very difficult for me to figure out. Now there's a little damage there on his back elbow, but for the most part, he's in really great shape. So I cannot find out anything about this. I don't know when it was made, or if it's like one of those things that's made to look old. I don't think, well, I don't know what to think. But if anybody has an idea, let me know in the comments below. There are some makers out there. His name is Alvarez, and I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but it's Meifiso. And he made a lot of this kind of stuff, but the clowns that he did don't look like this. It's not similar. This clown more so reminds me of Spain or Mexico or even Italy. Just with I don't know, it just reminds me of that. But I cannot figure it out. So if you have any ideas, paper mache stuff is very difficult, at least for me, to figure out online. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of information on it, but that's about all I know. I did spend $10 on it because I thought it was pretty interesting, and yeah, thought I would get that. While keeping with that, I also bought this little parakeet from the same seller, and I did pay $5 for it. This reminds me of the 50s. I don't know exactly when it was made. It is made in Brazil. Very hard to make out there, but it says made in Brazil, and then there's an item number right here, 200B. Again, very hard to see, but it's a really nice piece here. It's like a ceramic type thing, porcelain. Very nice. So I did pay $5 for this. I'm not sure if this is gonna really be a hit online or not. If it is, it's probably like a $20 item. And I may decide to keep it for the bedroom. So that's an option as well. Right here, I did pick up this little walnut shark for $3. And that is another common thing in Florida. The resale shops tend to be on the higher side for pretty much everything. I know one Goodwill had a minimum of $2.89 for anything in there, be it a mug or part of something. One salt shaker. It was really, I didn't understand it. So this here was $3, and I think it's in really great shape. If you ever go to another country or somewhere where they're selling stuff like this as a souvenir, you're going to spend $25, $30 on this. And I know that because whenever I was in, I don't know exactly where, I can't remember. We went to 4 stops, but one of those places, they had something very, very similar, and it was $30. So yeah, it's great. It's a great walnut piece here. This will go online, maybe $20, $25. I did also pick up this here. It is a coffee pot with lid, and it's in very great shape. I shouldn't probably have bought it because this doesn't really sell that well. I was going off of the bottom stamp here, Rosenthal, Germany. Again, I paid $4 for it, which is on the higher side as far as taking risks, you know. But I wanted to grab it. I thought it was a really cool pattern, and this was actually produced between 1954 and 1989, so a pretty long run. And this is called Bunte Blatter with 2 T's, not D's, and that stands for colorful leaves, converted from German to English. And you can see the colorful leaves on there. It's not a big seller. It sells on replacements for about $28. So on the reseller market off of replacements, I could probably get half of that. So for a $12 item that's kind of bulky, it might end up going for the booth for around $9 or $10. So there's that awesome piece right there in great shape. One of the finer things that I did happen to find was this Otajiri figurine, music figurine, and it is just really cool. $2.98. No chips, cracks, anything like that. So it's really remarkable, and it's a porcelain piece. These are handmade items here. It does have a really cool on-off feature, which I love, being a musical type thing, so you can just turn it off when you're sick of it. But, oh, it's great. So this is an item that I think will sell pretty well online for at least $20. Really neat koala bears on that. An item that I probably shouldn't have grabbed, but it was just, you know, this is right up my alley. It's this salt shaker, and at first I didn't know that it was a salt shaker. Otherwise, I might not have grabbed it because I didn't see any holes, but they are back here. It is a Lefton owl with the little rhinestone eyes, so that's why I grabbed it. It's just so cool looking. I figured what a great little figurine for a graduate or something. I paid 99 cents for it, so what could go wrong? Well, they only go for like $1 to $4 online. I find that hard to believe, and it's stamped so nicely on the bottom here, 1956, G.O.Z. Lefton. So again, it's one of those things that I'm very surprised that it doesn't sell for more. This will probably go in the booth at that. One of the favorite finds has to be this here, and it is actually made by John Taylor in circa 1949. The stamp is this. It's kind of just a scribbled mess, but there it is. Maybe this saucer is better. Not really, but it is an awesome piece, and they do call it blue plaid. So it has these little pluses and minuses on here. It's a stoneware. $3 I paid for this set right here. Well, interestingly, this is not the cup that comes up whenever you search for this online. More of a taller, taller mug type, like more recent mug looking comes up. And this is sort of a teacup looking style. So I'm not sure about that. Even replacements.com does not show this. And also, they're completely out of stock on replacements and on eBay. So prices are a little bit here and there, but I would expect this combo right here to go for about $30. And even this little guy here for at least $20. What this is a butter pat, and I paid $1 for it. I grabbed it because it's pretty simple, it's easy, and I figured this is the type of item that you would maybe not have. And so being light, small, it's not a whole lot for me to ship and deal with. So I paid 99 cents for it, and it's the butter pat. You put butter on there. They do make one that's slightly bigger. That would be used as a coaster, but this is the smaller 3.5 inch size. Really cool. And again, yeah, about $20 on this guy here, I think. So those are really interesting and really neat. So I think I managed to get through all of that. Yes, I did. So then over here, here's the books that I wanted to show that I bought on thriftbooks.com, which is a really great website if you want to buy some books that are not too expensive. They offer free shipping whenever you have, I think, at least $10 in your cart. That's pretty simple to do. Most books are like, well, most books like these are between $2 to $5. So this one here is pretty interesting. I wanted to grab just an Art Deco book that gave more of a generalized view of how things were. And so it has lots of graphics and newspaper things and just really interesting stuff in here. So this is a good easy read, not so much really a reference book. And these two are definitely reference books. I was looking at this one last night, about fell over whenever I saw this page. Well, this is one of them. Let's see here. Whenever I saw that, I was like, oh no. So yeah, I was trying to study this as best as I could to see what I could retain. And surprisingly, I remembered that that's called a splat back, and these are called turned legs. That's about all I could remember. It's just, there's just so much things here. And then they give the dates. What I would give to be able to look at something once and then just know what it was, and not have to keep going back and looking at it. And then look at that. Isn't that awesome? All the different wood types so that you can see what they are at a glance. So, and then it even talks about, I love this, it talks about the difference between marquetry, parquetry, and inlay. Parquet floors like this one, that would be parquetry. And then we have inlay, and it just talks about all the variants between those and how it all works. And then and lacquer versus japanning. That's a new term I've heard, japanning. And japanning is basically whenever you want it to look like lacquer using shellac, because lacquer is, I guess, a more expensive and, more expensive and just takes more time to do than just shellac. So that's those music boxes and things like that that have that. But it goes into talking about marriages, and this is just the furniture section, mind you. This has tons and tons of sections, lighting, ceramics, everything, and it is Antiques Encyclopedia. Very big book, so I think that one's going to come in handy quite a bit, actually. And then I lastly got a California pottery book, just on more generalized. It's just about California pottery, the different companies, and I still need to get a ceramic art studio book, but I haven't got around to that yet. Oh, but looking forward to going through all of those. Lots and lots to read. But I'm going to go ahead and wind this video up. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.